Welcome back, deep thinkers. It's time for another journey into the realm of human connection. Today we unravel a darker side, the unfortunate reality where relationships become a battlefield of manipulation and exploitation. We're going to expose the tactics deployed when a man, knowingly or unknowingly, uses a woman. We'll journey through real-life examples, exploring various aspects of relationships, family dynamics, and workplace scenarios. So brace yourself, deep thinkers, as we navigate through these murky waters of manipulation. Let's dive in. It may surprise you to know just how prevalent this issue is. Let's look at some numbers. A recent study found that nearly 1 in 3 women have experienced manipulation in their relationships. That's a staggering percentage, and it's a reminder of just how important it is to be vigilant. These aren't just abstract figures, these are real people, with real lives, who are being taken advantage of. It's not a light matter, it's something that can have lasting impacts on a person's mental health, self-esteem, and overall well-being. Recognizing the signs early on is crucial. It's about understanding that certain behaviors aren't just red flags, they're alarm bells. It's about realizing when someone is taking more than they're giving, when they're using you instead of cherishing you. And it's about knowing how to protect yourself, how to set boundaries, how to say enough is enough. Awareness is the first step to prevention. Our first manipulative behavior is the emotional leech. Picture this, a man who leans on a woman for emotional support, but rarely, if ever, reciprocates. He's always there when he needs a shoulder to cry on, but the moment she needs him, he's nowhere to be found. This type of man will drain a woman's emotional energy, leaving her feeling depleted and unsupported. He may make her feel that her emotions are less valid or even trivialize her feelings. In essence, he's taking without giving back, showing a lack of respect for her emotional needs. This is not what a healthy relationship looks like. In a truly supportive relationship, both parties are there for each other, equally sharing the emotional load. It's not just about taking, it's about giving too. It's about understanding and respecting each other's emotional needs. Remember, a relationship is about mutual support. Next up, we have the financial parasite. Picture this. A man who leans heavily on a woman for financial support yet fails to contribute equally to the relationship. Like a leech, he draws sustenance without giving anything in return. This is not to say that supporting a partner during a rough patch is wrong. However, when the situation becomes a chronic condition rather than a temporary setback, it's time to reassess. Consider Jane, for instance. Jane's partner John quit his job and claimed he was finding his purpose. Months turned into years, and John's purpose remained elusive, but his reliance on Jane's income didn't. Despite her best efforts, Jane found herself shouldering their financial burden alone. John, on the other hand, seemed content to live off her earnings, making no real effort to contribute. This is the hallmark of a financial parasite. Taking without giving, consuming without replenishing. Remember folks, financial responsibility should be shared in a relationship. Let's look at the social climber. Picture a man not particularly interested in the woman he's with, but rather her social circle. He's charming, charismatic, even magnetic. But beneath the surface, something is amiss. He's not there for her, but for the connection she brings. The parties, the influential friends, the status. These are his true desires. Imagine a woman, vibrant and well-connected. She's introduced her partner to her circle, welcomed him into her world. But she begins to notice he's always networking at their gatherings, always looking for the next rung on the social ladder. It's as if he's using her as a launch pad to greater heights, leaving her feeling used and unimportant. It's a sobering thought, isn't it? But it's crucial to recognize these patterns for what they are, a misuse of trust and affection. One should not be a stepping stone for another's social ascent. Now, meet the career opportunist. This chap is a master of manipulation with a clear goal in mind, career advancement, and he doesn't mind stepping on someone else's achievements to get there. Picture a guy who's always around when you're talking about your latest work successes but disappears when it's time to do the dishes. He's the one who encourages you to host networking events at your house, but somehow, it's always his business cards that end up in the hands of your influential guests. He's not interested in your dreams or aspirations, he's just looking for a ride on your coattails. This man may seem supportive, maybe even too supportive. But remember, it's not about you, it's about him. He's using your success as a stepping stone to reach his professional goals. Be vigilant, deep thinkers. Your success should not be someone else's ladder. And then, there's the gaslighter. This individual is a mastermind of manipulation, a puppeteer in a cruel game of psychological warfare. Picture a man and a woman. He sows seeds of doubt in her mind, making her question her own perceptions, her own sanity. It's a subtle form of control, a sinister twist of the mind. He might say, "You're overreacting," or "That's not how it happened," when she's absolutely certain of her experiences. This is gaslighting, a tactic often employed by those seeking to gain power and control. It's a form of psychological abuse that can leave the victim feeling confused, anxious, and even doubting their own reality. It's important to remember that everyone has the right to trust their own perceptions and instincts. If something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. And remember, trust in your perceptions and instincts. Ever heard of the ghaster? This is the man who vanishes into thin air, leaving the woman bewildered and distressed. Imagine this scenario. A woman is in a relationship with a man who is seemingly affectionate and attentive. Suddenly, out of nowhere, he becomes unreachable. His phone goes straight to voicemail, his social media accounts become dormant, and he's nowhere to be found in person. It's as if he's disappeared off the face of the earth. This abrupt cutoff of all communication is the hallmark of a ghaster. He leaves the woman questioning herself, wondering what went wrong, and in a state of emotional turmoil. It's a cruel and cowardly way to end a relationship, leaving the other party with no closure or explanation. Remember, folks, communication is the lifeblood of any relationship. If a man isn't willing to communicate, it's a red flag that he might be using the woman for his own ends. Communication is key in any relationship. Beware of the time thief. These sly characters have a knack for monopolizing your moments, your hours, your days. Picture a man who always needs his partner around, who insists on constant attention, leaving her with little space for herself or her interests. This isn't about spending quality time together, mind you. It's a one-sided affair where he dominates the conversation and dictates the activities. A time thief doesn't respect boundaries. He doesn't understand the importance of personal space or individual growth. His needs, his desires, his whims are always front and center. So, if you find yourself constantly at someone's beck and call, if you notice your hobbies gathering dust, your friends feeling neglected, and your personal time shrinking, beware. You might be dealing with a time thief. Remember, your time is as precious as you are. It's the canvas on which you paint the masterpiece that is your life. Your time is valuable, don't let anyone steal it. Finally, we have the emotional blackmailer. A character we've all come across at some point in our lives. This cunning individual is a master manipulator, adept at using guilt or fear to get his way. Picture this scenario. A man who constantly threatens to leave or harm himself if a woman doesn't comply with his wishes. He holds her emotions hostage, using her empathy and compassion as weapons against her. The emotional blackmailer creates a cycle of guilt and obligation where the woman feels trapped, constantly trying to appease him to prevent an emotional meltdown. It's a classic case of manipulation where he uses her emotions to control her actions. But here's the thing to remember, deep thinkers. Love should never involve fear, guilt, or manipulation. Love is about respect, understanding, and mutual growth. If someone uses your emotions against you, that's not love, it's control. So always remember, manipulation is not love, remember that. So deep thinkers, we've journeyed into the darkness of manipulation. We've shown a light on the emotional leeches, the financial parasites, the social climbers, the career opportunists, the gaslighters, the ghosters, the time thieves, and the emotional blackmailers. These are the 10 signs that a man may be using a woman. Recognizing these signs is the first step towards safeguarding yourself and others from such damaging behaviors. We must remember that respect, compassion, and genuine care should be the foundation of any relationship. We hope that this exploration has equipped you with the knowledge and awareness to navigate your relationships with caution, discernment, and wisdom. This is a journey of empowerment, a journey towards healthier and fulfilling relationships. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If you found this video helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe. Stay vigilant, deep thinkers.